The sun was blazing over Miami. The crowd inside the stadium was buzzing. Every seat seemed to carry the weight of expectation. And right at the center of it all stood a 20-year-old from Manila. She came. She saw. And once again, she conquered. Alexandra Eala, the rising superstar from the Philippines, has done it again at the Miami Open. On the hard courts of Hard Rock Stadium, under the relentless Florida sun, and in front of an electric crowd, the Filipina phenom delivered another statement victory that sent shockwaves through the tennis world. Her opponent was the experienced Polish veteran Magda Linette. The result? A commanding 6-3, 7-6 victory sealed with a ruthless 7-2 tiebreak. With that win, Eala stormed into the round of 16, and in the process, she did something even more dramatic. She eliminated the entire Polish challenge from the tournament. Poland had entered Miami with two major contenders. One was Linette, the other was none other than former world number 1 and multiple Grand Slam champion Iga Świątek. Now both are gone. And the player responsible? A 20-year-old Filipina who refuses to play the role of underdog. This was not just another match. This was a declaration. Alexandra Eala is not here just to participate in the WTA Tour. She is here to win, to truly understand. How massive this victory is, we need to rewind to the moment the tournament draw was released. Because the tennis world had already circled one potential matchup in bold ink, Alexandra Eala versus Iga Świątek. For fans in the Philippines, and there are millions now, that matchup was the dream scenario. Why? Because the two players already had history. At the 2025 Miami Open, a teenage Eala shocked the tennis world when she defeated Świątek in one of the biggest upsets of that entire season. At that moment, Eala was still relatively unknown to the broader tennis audience. But after that victory, everything changed. Suddenly, the world noticed. Sponsors noticed. Media noticed. And most importantly, the WTA Tour noticed. That single victory launched Eala into the top 100 rankings and established her reputation as one of the most dangerous young players in the sport. So when the 2026 Miami Open draw was revealed, fans everywhere were waiting for the sequel. Could Eala defeat Świątek again? But tennis rarely follows the script we expect. Instead, the tournament delivered a completely different shock. Before any potential rematch could happen, Świątek had to get past Magda Linette. On paper, it looked straightforward. Świątek was the number 2 seed ranked 3rd in the world, and widely expected to advance deep into the tournament. Linette, meanwhile, was 34 years old and ranked outside the top 40. But tennis can be beautifully unpredictable. In one of the most stunning results of the entire event, Linette pulled off a remarkable comeback victory. She defeated Świątek 1-6, 7-5, 6-3. The Polish veteran completely dismantled the game of one of the sport's dominant players in the second and third sets. The tennis world was stunned. The draw was suddenly wide open, and instead of the blockbuster rematch fans expected, Alexandra Eala now had to face a different challenge entirely. The very player who had just taken down a champion. Make no mistake, Magda Linette was not an easy matchup for Eala. In fact, she had already beaten the Filipina twice before. Their head-to-head record coming into this match stood at 2-1 in Linette's favor. She defeated Eala at the 2024 Abu Dhabi Open, winning in straight sets. She did it again at the 2025 Nottingham Open. The Polish veteran knew exactly how to neutralize Eala's strengths. Linette is one of the best movers on the WTA Tour. She tracks down balls that many players would simply give up on. She thrives in long baseline rallies. And with more than a decade of experience at the top level, she knows how to manage pressure moments. To make matters even more complicated, Linette was riding an emotional high after defeating Świątek. Momentum was clearly on her side. Meanwhile, Eala had just come through one of the most exhausting matches of her young career. Only days earlier, Eala faced Germany's tricky veteran Laura Siegemund in the second round. That match turned into an absolute war. It lasted 3 hours and 20 minutes, the longest match of Eala's entire WTA career. She lost the first set in a brutal tiebreak after letting 3 set points slip away. But instead of collapsing, she regrouped, she refocused, and she fought back to win the next 2 sets, 6-3, 6-3. The victory proved something crucial about the young Filipina. Her physical endurance was elite. Her mental toughness was even stronger. But the match also drained her energy. Now she had to face a veteran who had just knocked out one of the best players in the world. The stage was set for drama. From the very first point inside Hard Rock Stadium, the match delivered intensity. Both players held serve through the opening games. Every rally felt like a test of endurance. Linette tried to drag Eala into grinding baseline exchanges. She chased down every ball. She forced Eala to work for every single point. But this is where the young Filipina showed how much she has matured as a player. Instead of forcing risky winners, she stayed patient. She waited. She built her points carefully. And in the 8th game of the set, her opportunity arrived. Eala broke Linette's serve. Suddenly, she led 5-3. Moments later, she calmly served out the set 6-3. The first blow belonged to the Filipina. The second set was where the real drama began. Eala started brilliantly. She broke serve immediately and jumped to a 2-0 lead. It looked like the match might end quickly, but Magda Linette refused to surrender. The veteran dug deep. At one point, she even called for a medical timeout, stretching with the trainer as the physical toll of the tournament began to show. But somehow, she kept fighting. Linette broke back. The score moved to 3-3. Then she broke again. Suddenly, the momentum flipped completely. Now Linette led 5-4, and Eala was serving just to stay in the set. The pressure was immense. The stadium grew quiet. This was the moment that separates promising players from champions. 2 years ago, a younger Alexandra Eala might have panicked. But the version of Eala playing in Miami today is different. She stayed calm. She trusted her game. She held serve. Then she broke back to force a tiebreak. And when the tiebreak began, the 20-year-old Filipina turned absolutely ruthless. She raced out to a 6-1 lead. The crowd could feel history approaching. Moments later, she closed it out, 7-2. Match over. Final score, 6-3, 7-6. In just 1 hour and 48 minutes, Alexandra Eala had defeated the player who eliminated Świątek. The crowd erupted, the Philippines celebrated, and another chapter of Eala's incredible rise was written. After the match, Eala spoke calmly to reporters. Her explanation for the victory was simple. Patience was very key to how I played today. Those words reveal just how much she has matured. This is no longer the fearless teenager who shocked the world in 2025. This is a seasoned competitor, a player who has learned how to manage pressure, a player who trusts her game in the biggest moments, and the results prove it. Just 2 years ago, Eala was grinding through lower-tier tournaments, trying to earn ranking points. Then came the breakthrough. At the 2025 Miami Open, she stunned the tennis world. She defeated Iga Świątek, Jelena Ostapenko, Madison Keys, and she advanced all the way to the semifinals of a WTA 1000 tournament. That performance transformed her career overnight. Fast forward to 2026, Eala returned to Miami, not as a surprise story, but as a seeded player and world number 29. She arrived with Grand Slam main draw experience, a WTA final appearance, a Southeast Asian Games gold medal, multiple victories over top players. She is no longer the future of Philippine tennis. She is the present. But the Miami journey is not over. Waiting in the round of 16 is another huge test. Eala will face the creative and dangerous Czech star Karolina Muchova. Muchova is one of the most versatile players on the entire tour. She mixes spins. She changes pace. She uses angles that frustrate even elite opponents. And she has already proven she can compete on the biggest stage, reaching the 2023 French Open final. This matchup will be another enormous challenge. But after what we have seen, this week, doubting Alexandra Eala feels almost foolish. She has survived a 3-hour marathon. She has defeated a veteran who just knocked out a champion. And she is playing with the confidence of someone who truly belongs among the elite. The Philippines is a country of more than 100 million people. For decades, it has produced world-class athletes in boxing, basketball, and weightlifting. But tennis? That stage has rarely belonged to the nation. Until now. Because Alexandra Eala is changing everything. Every match she plays is watched by millions. Every victory inspires a new generation of young athletes across the country. And right now, on one of the biggest stages in world tennis, she continues to deliver. Poland's challenge is over. The Philippines marches forward. And as the Miami Open continues, one thing is certain. Wherever Alexandra Eala goes next, the entire tennis world will be watching.